didn't surprise me with anything. So I'm not sure whether I would recommend this book or not. But I will always encourage you to form your own opinion. So do with that what you will. Which is my absolute new favorite. I am simply in love with both this book and the mind that was able to create it. To create something so beautiful, so diverse, so witty, and so real at the same time. And I am just sure that not many would be able to tell a story of an abusive relationship in such a way. If you didn't know, this is a memoir, but there is an abundance of form in this. The author plays with language, with rhetorical forms, with genres even. Because for her, a chapter could be a conditional or a house in Florida, a destination, a musical, and every one of these is like a little gift for the reader who then feels this little tickling of satisfaction, as if they solved this little intellectual mystery or puzzle. Needless to say, the subject is extremely tough and overwhelming. I can only imagine the amount of strength and bravery it takes for a person to write a book about a person who was meant to love, but instead hurt repeatedly over and over again. Just terrible. But I also think it's super important to talk about abusive relationships when it comes to sea didn't really satisfy me, and I expected more horror. It's not that I wanted more gore and more blood and more murder, I just wanted something more scary. But also, some of the themes were quite effective. Like, for example, the underwater world with the titular monster. Quite disturbing and like everything I'm scared of. But on the other hand, the tempo was sometimes killing me. Like, I was getting bored, it was getting slow, it was getting impatient, you know. So you can just exactly see my mixed feelings here. I think most things that I mentioned here could be charged off to Lovecraft's book being just a bit old. I think had I read the book like 70 years ago, I would have been thrilled and absolutely exhilarated. So for now, for the time being, I do appreciate the writing style, which is beautiful, and I do appreciate the art. I also hope that just the next books that I read will be even better, and I hope there's like more for me to discover from him. If you have any specific recommendations from this author, I really hope you'll leave them in the comments. As always, I don't know if I started right, because maybe there's a better way to start the journey with Lovecraft's books. But yeah, that's it for this one. Right now, I'm gonna give you a little wink moment because we're going to talk about another book on the Abyss. This time, it's non-fiction. Let me tell you what this book is called exactly. It's The Brilliant Abyss, exploring the majestic hidden life of the deep ocean and the looming threat that imperils it. this one's gonna be surprising because I read Mockingjay, so the third part of the Hunger Games trilogy, and I think it's the worst one. I really didn't like it all that much. This time I wasn't as surprised with all the ideas, the world building. It didn't impress me as much. Plus this whole aspect of this media war and Katniss essentially becoming an influencer just took away so much like seriousness for me. Aside from that, as you may remember from my other reviews, I was in love with the tempo of the first and the second book. But here I wouldn't say the same thing. I even felt that some parts could be shorter. Definitely could. So, I still have lots of love for this series. I still am a little bit biased because I love it so much. And yeah, but I still have to admit that, in my opinion, this was the worst one. I'm really curious to know if you agree or disagree with me. Plus, if you could give me like your personal ranking of book 1, 2, and 3, that would be amazing. I'm very, very curious. But yeah, that was my honest opinion. For the last book in today's video, we have The People in the Trees by Hanya Yanagihara. And it's a very close contender for the list of my new favorites. Right after In the Dream House. I loved it, and even though I read a copy from the library, as you can see here, I still decided that I want to have my own copy. I bought one in a used bookstore so that I can reread it and maybe annotate it because it's worth it. So, only a few pages in, I had this very strong feeling, and I was sure that I was reading a Hanya Yanagihara book. And it's not only her writing style, it's also the little observations and the little psychological notes that she makes on things that are so small that they sometimes get overlooked. And I mean like little habits or little thoughts that people what's also interesting, we find lots of parallels to A Little Life, or the other way around, because the people in the trees were the debut, they were first. As a consequence, I think it would be appropriate to give you a little trigger warning, because sexual abuse is mentioned here. There's not much of it incomparably to A Little Life, but I think the reader should still be warned. As far as other comparisons are concerned, I have to mention that it sometimes resembles The Heart of Darkness, especially in that heavy, sweltering atmosphere that accompanies the reader while exploring the jungle. But in this book, I liked everything. I liked the descriptions of the lush and wild nature, references to traditional tribal rituals, the little psychological or sociological notes that I mentioned, and the amazing and the so important discussion on our obsession of youth and vitality, and also some aspects of morality and what you can and can't do when you have achieved something in life. I would also say that the construction of the novel is quite remarkable, because we have two narrators. The first one kind of introduces us to the story and then becomes the editor for the second